everyone, today I am here to explore Ramadevarabetta. So, without wasting time, let's get started. On the way, we'll go through Manchanabele Reservoir. So, we just stood for some time, and the road you're seeing there was used by people earlier to swim inside the Manchanabele Reservoir. But nowadays, they're not living so closely because many of them had lost their life in the reservoir earlier. So now nobody are allowed to enter the reservoir so closely. How did Manchanabele Reservoir got originated? And the water here is said that this is the sweat of a rishi. If you want to know all these, I have made a dedicated video on Manchanabele Reservoir. You can also check that out in my description box below. So after seeing the dam, we continued our journey towards Ramadevarabetta. Now we have arrived the location, and there are also entry charges to enter inside. I have displayed it here, you can check it out. Now let's go inside and gain all the information about this Ramadevarabetta. Ramadevarabetta is about 50 kilometers from Bangalore, and this is located in Ramnagar, Devarayanadurga. There is no problem for parking vehicles here at all because there is enormous place to park, and they'll also take parking charge. Ramadevarabetta Vulture Wildlife Sanctuary is the only vulture breeding area in South India. The number of vultures has forgiven, and still breeding in this area is going on. In Ramayana, Jatayu was a vulture who fought with Ravana to protect Sita when she was kidnapped. Jatayu was fully injured while fighting with Ravana, but still he wanted to tell all this to Rama. After telling all this to Rama, he then left his life. Here, the vulture played an important role to help Rama in search of Sita. Another vulture descendant, Jatayu's brother, Sampati, helps Rama to find Sita, who was in Ashokavana. In this shrine, two asuras were killed, namely Sukhasura and Kakasura. Firstly, I'll tell you the story of Sukhasura. In Ramayana, Rama, after defeating Ravana, heads to Ayodhya. At this moment, Sugriva found this moment very precious and divine, so he thought that he would worship Rama forever from now. So he carved Rama, Lakshmana, Sita and Anjaneya in one single rock and thought of carrying it with him to Kishkinda to worship Lord Rama. While returning back to Kishkinda, Sugriva heard a Akashavani asking him to stop there only and kill the demon called Sukhasura, who was troubling the Maharishis in meditation at Ramadevarabetta. Sugriva places the carved idol on the ground and defeats Sukhasura and kills him. The demon, after his death, is believed to have turned into a hill which is called Handigundi. You can also see this hill 4 kilometers away from Ramadevarabetta. After killing Sukhasura, Sugriva tries to lift the carved murti of Lord Rama, but it was unable to move it. While lifting, he heard another Akashavani which ordered him to leave the murti there only, since the Lord wished to remain there and bless his devotees. So Sugriva installed the idol here. From then, this place was called as Ramanagara, and the hills is called Ramadevarabetta. And also the idol he installed is called Pattabhirama. Interesting fact is that you can also see a rare carving of Sugriva in Ramadevarabetta. It is believed that Rama, Sita, lived in Ramadevarabetta during their exile. During their exile, once Rama was resting and Sita was sitting beside him. At this time, the demon king of crows called Kakasura attacked Ma Sita. She didn't wanted to disturb Lord Rama, so she tolerated the pain, but a drop of her blood fell on Lord Rama, and this disturbed Rama. He woke up seeing the wound of Sita. He got very angry, and nearby he got some grass and made an arrow out of it and stood to shot it on Kakasura. Kakasura got scared and went on approaching Brahma and Shiva for help, but they advised him to go back to Rama and ask for forgiving him. Kakasura then approached Rama and asked to forgive him. Rama forgave him, but however, he asked Kakasura to sacrifice a part of his body to the arrow to stop it. Kakasura sacrificed his left eye, and it is said that from then all crows cannot see from their left eye. And also from that time, not even a single crow has been spotted in this region. According to science, crows have more powerful monocular vision. Later, Kempegowda renovated this temple sometime during 16th century, and the current structure of this temples was attributed in 1990s. It is said that there are about 450 steps in this shrine. Until we climbed up still here, we didn't feel sunny because there were trees covered all around. We are heading to Rameshwara Temple, and there is a story linked to this temple also. This linga was installed by Lord Rama himself to daily worship Lord Shiva before he left to Lanka to defeat Ravana. The pond which you're seeing here is called Ramatirtha. Ramatirtha is beside Pattabhirama's temple, but nobody are allowed to use this water except for Abhisheka of Lord Rama. Until now, the water here has not been dried up, whether if it was a sunny day or anything. It is believed that Rama had created this pond by shooting his arrow to quench the thirst of Sita. The depth of this tirtha is not yet found till date. This water is believed that it has medicinal properties and power of healing many incurable diseases. Story is linked to this pond, that is, while Sita was having bath in Ramatirtha, 7 sages, while coming back after their meditation in this hill, by mistake casts a glance on Sita, and here Sita gets very angry, and there only she cursed them to become stones. These stones can be seen right opposite to the temple of Sri Pattabhirama, and these hills are also called as Sholay Hills and Tapobhumi of Saptarishis. And there's a viewpoint from Rameshwara Temple. Now let's go see that. This is the hills which I told you, the Sholay Betta. Here a famous Bollywood movie called Sholay was also shooted. This is the first viewpoint. From here You can see so many hills. Here we spent some quality time and headed to take darshana of Kote Anjaneya. If you go towards right from Pattabhirama's temple, you'll see two ways. One is towards Kote Anjaneya Swami temple, and the another is the rare carving of Sugriva, and you can also go to the hilltop of Ramadevarabetta. In Ramadevarabetta, there are a total of 5 carvings of Lord Anjaneya, but none of them are carved with either of his Gada or carrying Dronagiri Parvata. All the carvings depict the Lord in Abhayahasta, the blessing hand. It is believed that Lord Anjaneya is here to protect his devotees. On the way, you can also take darshana of Venugopala Swami here. You should be very careful while going here because there are lots of stones, and it is better to wear a very gripped shoes and slippers because I also slipped a bit, but still I managed to go forward. There'll be a lot of chances to slip here. You can also visit nearby places such as Savanadurga, SRS Hills. But if you don't want to see it in a single day, you can also, stay for a night nearby. There's a lodge called SVS Lodge. It's only about 4.5 kilometers from Ramadevarabetta. You can stay there, and next day you can travel towards Savandurga and enjoy your trip. The importance of Kote Anjaneya is that the idol here is towards north face. It is said that this temple is about 700 years old, but still puja was not going on. These days they've started doing puja. Some of them, for the sake of treasure, had made this Garudagamba fall down. So that's the reason the Garudagamba here is very small. And here they had put some barricades, and we were restricted to go there, so we didn't go. Please don't go in restricted areas, that too in such a forest, because there'll be a chances of missing routes. Now we took the darshana of Kote Anjaneya. There's no route here. We have to go back to the actual way from where we came from. See, as I told you, you can see Venugopala Swami here, and also a carving of Anjaneya in a Namaskara posture. Earlier we had been at this route. Now we'll be taking this route towards the carving of Sugriva and the main hilltop view of Ramadevarabetta. See, you can look at the Pattabhirama's temple there. While on the route, you'll get so many small viewpoints. You can enjoy all those and go on. Here also there's a viewpoint. It's gonna be a really long walk, so make sure you like walking. And there's a police going here. Maybe he had come for roundings. And this is another viewpoint. From here you can see Sri Pattabhirama's temple and Rameshwara Temple. Don't forget to carry water because the route is very long and you'll definitely need water in handy. Finally, we are at the carving of Sugriva. This is the carving which I told you of Sugriva. And to see the top view, you'll have to climb the steps from here. As you can see, the steps are very steep, and it'll be a little tough for elders and also for kids. So be careful while climbing. Oh my god, the view from here is so mesmerizing. This is the last viewpoint of Ramadevarabetta. From here we can see about 10 to 15 hills. The view is so good. Revanasiddeshwarabetta, Handigundi Betta, Kotagallu Timmappana Betta, Savanadurga, SRS Hills, Sholay Betta, Yatirajagiri Betta, Somagiri, Shivaramagiri, Krishnagiri, Sidilakallu Betta, Jalasiddeshwara Betta. Maybe all these hills are here, I think. There are so many hills. Almost you can see all the hills in Ramanagara. I have also made a dedicated video of Savanadurga. You can check that out in my description box. After spending lots of time, we headed back down. We were very tired of climbing the hills, and one of my aunt had bought dosa, chapati, and also with some hot coffee. So we had all that and went on to explore Vulture Century. We didn't come through any hotels or restaurants nearby, so it's better to bring your food from home itself. So this is the Vulture Century. You can see this in entrance of Ramadevarabetta. In 2012, Ramadevarabetta was declared as first vulture sanctuary in India. Vultures play a very important role in ecosystem. By eating the dead animal matter, they clean the environment and reduce the spread of diseases also. Vultures are not at all seen these days. This is because of a drug called diclofenac. This is a painkiller given for cows and dogs when they fall sick. One fine day, after the death of these animals, the vulture used to feed on these carcasses and they also would die. This was because of diclofenac, and this drug is fatal for vultures. Nowadays, people are educated. They either burn the carcasses of animals or bury it deep inside the soil. But still, 90% of vultures have lost their lives. Now, vultures have become critically endangered species. That means one or two will be seen rarely. When we had been to Ramadevarabetta, we didn't even see a single vulture. A priest in Ramadevarabetta told us that these vultures will not even go towards the temples here because, as you guys will be knowing, vultures are scavengers. That's it, guys. I'll see you in my next video.